Welcome, everyone. We are Clean Slate Show Runners. It's a podcast where the slate is clean, and I am keen to have conversation with some of the most amazing people. Welcome to the Clean Slate Show.
Thank you so much.
Welcome to the show.
Thank you. Take one.
Maybe set on him. And then, to me, you have to go a little bit, keep your hands to yourself. So, all right, we can start, right? Are you big into reading books and stuff? Do you read?
Not really, to answer that.
Thank you. I'm the same.
If you tell me a bedtime story to read, yes, I do that.
So science, wife beats science.
Yes,
Okay.
absolutely.
I'll keep that in mind.
Yes.
Okay.
My patients who are not Indians who come to me, they say, oh, we always prefer Indian doctors because we know they are more focused, they are more into their clinical skills, and I think that's working wonderful here. Everything is scientific. If you sit down on a dining table, talk to each other and eat, then you will be in portion control.
Right.
But if you'll put a device in front of you and TV in front of you, it is not going to be a portion control.
Again, in the age of technology, how is robotics going to influence physiotherapy? Women empowerment is like so highly considered, right? We want to push women now to go out and do things beyond what they could have imagined, and they're succeeding in their respective careers, right? Do you guys have that sense at home as well? Do you have a sense of competition, or not competition is not the right word, but that want to do better and better for yourself?
Well, I think this question is meant for my husband more than me, but answering to it, the first thing that you mentioned about success. So, I think the definition of success is very different for every individual, and for me, it's. I think it has evolved a lot over a period of time. Talking about the women empowerment, I think it is either too much overrated at some point of time, and it sometimes I think it is they have taken this word women empowerment just to prove something. Women was always empowered from day one. It was just that the role that she was doing was different. The empowerment that she has given in the house, I think we won't be there anywhere if our mothers wouldn't have that power in the house. She was the queen of the house. She's the one who was a reason behind everybody's success. So she was already empowered from day one. It was just that now it's not just the house. She has brought her empowerment in the fields that she is working professionally.
Right.
So again, when you talk these two things, success and women empowerment, it's such a both is such a sensitive topic that the discussions can go over
Right.
and over again with multiple opinions and ideas. But I would say yes that women's have found their place in the outer world now, and she already had her place inside her house already.
Right. How do you see social media or social media or like all these different platforms? Have they bought out these stories more now? So you say that empowered women were always empowered, right? Based upon what you were explaining, do you feel that social media is playing that role as well now in bringing out these stories, which is inspiring more women or young
Absolutely.
girls?
I think the debate always, whether social media is good or not, let's leave it to them who wants to discuss it. But I will always take it positively. for me, now social media is my everything. It's either my newspaper, it's my radio, it's my television, it's my nighttime storybook, it's my motivational area. Everything, anything I want, I just go on a social media for now. So I think yes, social media has definitely show the world both the sides. Like you see, like first the women's were only associated with cooking, but now
Right.
if you go on social media, every other Instagram reel you see is made by either a male chef or kids who are making
Right.
some videos in the house who are boys. So I guess it's helping both.
They have been able to influence.
Influenced,
So
yes.
then there are influencers now, right?
Yes.
Who are using that that
Yeah.
stage.
You never know how kids grow up to one of them as their career.
Yeah, and like knowing us and whatever I'm doing new right now,
Yes.
it's pretty much we're gonna never gonna tell them that just this is what I vision for you to do, so you're gonna go and execute it.
Abs-
We're gonna tell them, okay, see everything and then proceed.
Because I think the world has also changed. I think just the doctors or the engineers are not the top five, money making education
Right.
anymore.
No longer, no
No
longer.
longer. So you have to go with the flow. You
Yeah,
have to accept the change. So
right. Lajja as a person, does she when she feels low or feels like her back is against the wall, what do you do? Do you have any way of trying to tackle difficult situations?
if you're asking this question now, first thing that's coming in my mind, for me, any situation is handled with just one thought. I have my Neve in my life. My son is named Neve, which in Hindi means base, foundation. And he is a very strong foundation of anything that comes to my life, whether it's good, whether it's bad, whether it's something depressive or whether it is a happy moment. It is that he holds me to it. He doesn't let me go overboard if I'm highly excited, and he doesn't let me go into depression if I'm sad. So yeah, for now, if I have to answer, the answer is Neve.
Right. Kids, I never thought I would also become like that. I'm so hyper. I'm very hyper. I
So
mean,
am I.
yeah. So for us, like, I feel, we need, sometimes we need anchors who
Hmm.
slow us down or who kind of give us,
Absolutely.
tell us to breathe, which we kind of, I didn't have that concept of breathing. I was just do this, go, keep going,
I
move, move,
think
move,
I
move,
think
move.
there's something fault in our upbringing. I think that's where this comes from. I think our generation is like that. For me, it's like my day is planned. Okay, this time this, after this, after this.
Yeah,
So from morning probably 6:30 to 10 o'clock. I think everything is planned every single day.
yeah,
So everybody who knows me or everybody who's close to me, they always tell me this: sit down, relax, take it easy.
right.
So I think we are built that way. I think that keeps us going.
Going, yeah,
Yeah.
and like, and tough times will, and I'm also sort of one of the main reasons for doing this podcast is to, yeah, of course, I definitely want my audience to learn and grow and benefit something out of it, but it's also for me to find. I already know my flaws, a lot of them. I still don't know some of the flaws that are hidden inside, but when I talk to these amazing people via this podcast, I take some perspective from them, and then I try to apply it in my life, which I do from whatever I have recorded so far. I've gotten some really good insights into these things, and the way I have used them, I've definitely see change. Because why worry for such smaller petty things when
That's
down the
so
line,
correct.
worry is not going to fix it in the first place. Pressure is not going to fix it in the first place. Pressure might help you drive or push through, but there are better alternatives or better
Alternatives.
ways. You have
Absolutely.
your amazing kids, you have your family. When
Right.
you look at them, everything else seems like so small
Small.
that,
That's so
yeah, I
true.
mean, as long as they are there, they are with us, everything can be,
Yes.
sorted, solved,
Yes.
resolved.
So that reminds me just a small conversation that we had just literally 10 minutes ago while we were coming here. And my son was asking me, why do some people live in a condo, some people live in a townhouse, and why do we have a house? I said, doesn't matter. It like, condo, townhouse, house might be a subject of your financial status, but what matters is how happy that home is. Like,
Right.
the definition of condo, townhouse, and house is different when, it has to be a home first. You have to be happy inside.
Right.
So I think the bottom line of everything, the bottom line of every success is how content you are. There is no limit to anything. There is no, especially in this generation, in this world, you can rise as high as you can. But then I think what anchors you back, what holds you back, or when you need to be content,
Right.
that is where you need to put a definition to within yourself.
Right. That's a very interesting point that you brought up regarding, be it whatever structure it is, but if it's not home, then even if you live in a giant mansion, if you live in a small, it'll not feel like home.
Right.
So whatever you are,
Mhm.
you have to feel it as
You
home
need to be
first.
happy inside.
You
You
to be
need to be
happy.
content inside. Yep.
Absolutely. What is content? Content means like wherever you are, whatever you have, you are happy with it.
Not really. I would say the word content at the end, I think everything sum ups with how much you can give, how much you can love. Now, if I have to explain this definition with my profession, I would say I'm very content with what I'm doing. I have no ambition, in your words, to do anything above this, but that does not mean that I'm uh, I'm content with the giving that I've done. No, I want to give my best. Whatever I have created my world, and now whoever comes to me in this world, I want to give my best to them. I'm content in sense is I'm very happy with what I'm doing. uh, I do not wish to go further materialistically, but I want to grow more, maybe spiritually, maybe with the thought of giving, or with the healing that I can give with my profession to this world.
Got it.
So content in sense is I have a kid and I want to spend time with him.
Right.
So I would not just run after, my working hours, or, motivation, or, my, I want to grow more, I want to make a bigger clinic, I want to have more patients. No, I'm content with my life that I'm going to work this many hours, I want to spend this many hours with my son, I want to give him what I can do my best. But so whatever I'm doing, uh, I want to grow more and better and groom that better within that content, within that satisfaction that I have
Within that
Mhm.
yourself that you have created for
created.
yourself.
Exactly.
Okay. All right. So you how are you big into reading books and stuff? Do you read?
Not really to
Okay.
answer that.
Thank you. I'm the same.
If
you would have said it.
if you tell me a bedtime story to read, yes, I do that.
No, so I like every year I have stopped making resolutions because I first of all don't think they work. Just deciding one thing in the beginning of the year is not it doesn't work
And
for
I
me.
don't even think that life should be
And
like that. Life should not be, there should be no there should be no like defined boundaries that, okay, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that. Just live life. Just do your best. Just follow the routine,
right,
whether it's day 1 or day 365th. Like, just, I think you need to learn what makes you happy, or what is the right way of living life. and just follow that, and then you
Right.
don't need to make any resolutions, like
Right.
if you, they're just basic things that you need to hold on to. You do few things right, correct every single day, and then everything starts falling into place.
Yeah.
Again, I would say, I would again compare that with my son Neve, like once your base is right, once you know what to do, everything start, like the whole structure, the building up there, for the whole block comes into place,
Right.
and then you don't need to make resolutions. I think that's the way of life.
Yeah, and I completely agree with you, and I've stopped doing it now because I don't think that why wait till the end of the year to decide what I'll do next year. I mean, if you feel like doing something, you do it, right?
Do
So
it.
the reason
Perfect.
why I asked you for a book is that there was a phase in life where I said, okay, you know what, I'm going to read,
Hmm.
because this is this is not before like any audiobooks and stuff was there. And I mean, every year I would keep buying these books. I still have them upstairs. Someday I'll put it here on display what I bought, and I do intend to read it. But it's just that I cannot read something that will probably not relate to my work or relate to me learning something.
Something.
But
Hmm.
yeah, but I'm glad there are people like us in the
Yes.
world. That's why they came up with these audiobooks.
Yeah, and
If you
we,
can't read, listen
yes,
to me.
yes,
So the books are
yes,
saying
yes.
so.
See, again, social media, it has been, the, it has helped a lot. For very small example, like there's a different type of reading. I kind of always, our culture, our spiritual, the knowledge that our country holds, I'm always fascinated and always interested in it. And for me, I think the best place to read everything is social media.
Right.
Every single day, like whether it's, how in our culture the days depends on the moon, there's full moon to no moon and no moon to full moon, and every single day has a special significance.
Right.
And every morning when I wake up and I open one of my WhatsApp group, and there's a whole story about that particular day.
Right.
And that really, sometimes it's really excite me, and then I also get some content to share it to my son. But probably that's the best reading I've been doing. Probably I would say that I am doing reading now because of the social media.
Right. So you're trying to basically just absorb some of the information, right? I
Yes.
I was not on social media for longest time because I took break for about years, year, 3, 4, 5 years, right? And then very recently I started getting more active on it. And again, what I'm subscribed to some of these pages on Instagram for like Bhagavad Gita quotes and stuff like that, right? There are a
Right.
couple of them.
Mm-hmm.
And every time I read that, and Bhagavad Gita, I'm sure because it's taken from the phrases and everything is taken from Bhagavad Gita. But besides that, there's some very good and inspired saying. I don't know the source behind it, but the words are so much, they work for me.
That's so true.
Um,
Yeah.
if I
Mm-hmm.
don't feel like walking and if I read it, I'll be like, you know what, I will walk.
Yes.
If I don't want to do, let's say, if I'm sitting on a couch and just watching TV, where I could be, focusing on, let's say, the podcast, right? Or if I want to do that, I read that sometimes it just coincidentally comes up in the feed. I read and I know what,
Yes.
let me spend 15, 20 minutes and I'll
20
just go and
minutes.
do that. And then next thing you know, I end up spending like hours in the preparation and
True. Mhm.
doing this, right? So it's how you use it.
That's
At the same
correct.
time, there's also a lot of garbage
Garbage stuff.
out there. So it's really, you should be wise enough to understand
Yes.
what you
I
want to
think
use
we
it
are at the
for.
phase of life where we can understand, like,
I'm more scared
what
of
goes.
I'm more scared of our kids though,
Yeah.
because they are so
No,
innocent.
one thing I've noticed, this generation is way too smart than us. If you
Is
teach
it?
them correct, I guess they learn right. They are very, they ask a lot of questions, but at the same time they can process in their mind what is right, what is wrong. They can, my kid comes and tell me, no mama, don't do this, that's not right. And
Right.
then at that point of time I realized that, okay, so these kids are actually way too smart. Then they know what to go, what to look at. Yeah, at some age, because they're very tender, we need to supervise, we need to tell them what to do and what not to do, but they listen.
They
That's what.
listen.
Yes.
They ask you questions too.
Yes.
But at the same time, it's even for us, like
Yes.
sometimes I laugh for hours, right? Have you seen that one reel? Like in cha that we make, right? Tea. Indian tea.
Yes.
Have you seen that one? There's one reel where he's assembling the material for tea, and then he reminds himself, oh, too much ginger, empty stomach gives you acidity, so he takes it out.
Takes
Too much milk for lactose, it's not good for you, so he takes it out. Too much tea is again create a lot of acid in your
caffeine.
acid and caffeine in your body, so he takes it out, and then he's left with water. It's like too much water is not good for your organs
Organs.
because he takes everything out, and
Out.
he says, if
Is left
everything
with
is
nothing.
bad, what am I going to do, right? So
Yes.
it's again
Moderation.
moderation.
And
That's
everything. Yes.
people sometimes take things
Yes.
literally, and
Yes. There's a very thin line between, from right to going towards the wrong side. But we
right,
just, I think, um, somebody once told me that you cannot control anybody. You cannot even, whether any generation, in fact, not even your partner. It's true for your parents also and for your kids also. And especially with this generation kids, we cannot control them. We cannot tell them what is right and wrong. We have to just explain them that what it is. Just show them, like, what is pros and
right,
cons. Show them a reference point. Let them go out, let them explore. But when they know what is the truth or what is your reference point, they will always come back. They will
right.
know. And I think at one point of time, we all must have done this.
Yes,
I think it's I would say it's a beauty of that age. Go explore and then come back to your reference point. So
yeah,
we just need to have a very strong base of our reference point to them. That's
right,
it. And then let them enjoy, let them explore, and let them come back to it.
right. I'm guilty of that. I'll tell you, it's I'm not no longer, thankfully no longer, because I'm. That's the benefit of having some smart women in your life. So Shivani and my mom. So what there was a phase where if I would read an article, oh, too much lettuce, not good because it creates problem for a gut. I would literally make them throw all the lettuce in the house until a couple of weeks later when I'll read, no, lettuce is good for them. I'm like, okay, we're
Let's
safe.
bring it back.
Bring it back, everything back. And then
Yeah.
gradually I'm learning. Now I have learned, like not learning, but I'm more aware of what I'm consuming from social media.
That's
I
so correct.
You cannot
Yes.
just accept everything at a face value. There is a
Yes.
lot of good on it, but at the same time, sort of bad on it, right?
Yes.
And one of the biggest things of again doing this show is to actually validate some of that information that's circulating out there, right? Like, so different background folks when they come here and talk, and I had called upon in my first episode my sister-in-law, right? She's a nutritionist, so when I was asking her some questions, the intent was that she gives us what science says. She's certified. So what does your science tell us? You tell the audience, because that can benefit somebody, right? And is physiotherapy the same educational advice? It's the same.
Yes,
So
absolutely.
in India or here, everything is the same.
Yes. So I didn't have to, do any professional studies here. I have to just take my license exam here.
Okay.
So I have to evaluate my credit and just go for my license exam.
And how long does it take? Sorry, I'm just trying to get some insights into it. How long does the license? Is it you have to study for license? You have to give an exam for license?
Yes.
Okay.
It's a whole. I would say. The federal, like in the whole country has a one license exam,
Okay.
but then each state has different requirements.
Got it.
Like certain state has some law exams, some ethics exams, some TOEFL or something extra to take care. But first you have to have your license.
Okay. Got it.
So yeah, you got to study for it. You can take whatever time you want, 3 months, 6 months, 1 year, 2 years, 3 years, and
Right.
appear for the exam. It's one of the toughest. And in the now it's like even getting more difficult.
Oh, is it?
Yes,
Okay.
but with physical therapy, yes. Like as I'm saying, the education is getting global now. So there's no difference between what you studied back in our country and here. Yes, every country or every state you go, you have to follow the rules. You follow their laws. That
Right.
is what you have to just apply for. But other than that, education wise, I mean, as I'm in this field, I would say my patients who are not Indians who come to me, They say, oh, we always prefer Indian doctors because we know they are more focused, they are
Right.
more, into the clinical skills, because that's how we've been, like, how life is there back in our country.
Yeah.
It's like survival of the fittest. So you
Right.
have to be
The
best with
best.
your, skills, with your knowledge. And I think that's working wonderful here.
People say willpower, right? For example, if you have a strong willpower, you will get up and start walking even after a strong injury. How does your physiotherapy science look at that?
For this question, I would rather not answer as a physical therapy science. I would like to answer it as a science of life, that uh, more than 50% of the injury, not the injury, but the ailment, the pain that my patient comes to me with, I kind of heal it by talking. Sometimes I feel that, uh, the patient comes to me to sometimes just to share. If sometimes they just vent it out or just say it, or they just talk, we just talk to them nicely, half of their pain is gone. May not in real sense, but yes, the brain stops accepting the signals of pain at that point of time, and they feel better. I would rather connect that with the mental therapy that I give as a part of a physical therapy. But yes, now if a patient is coming to me with a surgery, I know the patient knows, I know that, the pain is going to be there for a couple of days post surgery. But sometimes how strong you are, how if you are sad, your pain is going to be 10 times more than what it is. And if you are happy, if you're focusing somewhere else, your brain is not going to register those pain sensation. So always when a patient comes to me, I always, we have this in therapy in a setup where we have to put them, if required, we have to put them on some machine, and put them on heating pads and lie down for 10 minutes, 15 minutes. I always tell my patients, this is your time in the middle of a day. This 15 minutes are yours.
Right.
Put your phone aside, talk to yourself, like take a nap, calm down your mind, let the healing help you. So that mental, I would say, like motivation, or the mental therapy sometimes really works wonder than,
Right.
along with the physical therapy what we do.
Right. You are so calm. I don't know. Were you like this? I don't remember. We never had this kind of an interaction.
Remember, I have a 7 years old at home,
Yeah,
so I have no other option than to
I,
be calm.
I get that, but you are very calm, and it's a very. I envy you for that, because you are like, you kind of making me calm right
I
now.
just said that, right?
I don't think I have any body problems right now, but I am feeling very relaxed because the way you are
I told you, right?
explaining.
I'm content. I'm content with my
Right.
life now.
I got to learn that. So this episode, when I go back and look at the whole episode, I have to keep this on one of the standbys. Every time life throws stones, you have to just
I would
stay
say
calm,
you are a
steady.
very good host.
No. I'm working towards it. So the season 1 is season of errors.
Yes.
It's not because of the guests, it's my
Yes.
errors. Because every episode I am
Yes.
learning something new and new
Yes.
and new, and I take mental notes. I take notes in my book, and then I try to practice it in front of the mirror. One of the biggest problem I have, I'll genuinely tell you, is I want to be a good listener. If I can just, like, let's say wherever I am right now, if I become 50% better at that, I will not need to ask many questions.
You will get it. We are everybody. I was not, if I was here like few years or maybe few months ago, you wouldn't be saying this. But I think it's just life. I think it's just the uh, life is the biggest teacher. It's, it teaches you everything. So it comes to you. It comes to you naturally.
This is a very funny story that happened. I'm not going to take names, but I was sitting in the house here upstairs, and I was watching something. I was watching game, some game going on, right? And Shivani, my mom, and both the kids, they went out for a walk. This is during summer. I didn't want to go because I wanted to watch the game. And then I had told them, if somebody asks, just tell them, I'm doing something. And then they asked Zain, and then Zain goes, oh, he's just watching TV. And then he called me. I was like, I'm in the middle of work. And he's like, no, Zain is saying you're watching TV. Come out. And then I had to go out. So I'm like,
True.
that's a price you pay to do that. One more question.
That's the thing you learn.
That's the thing you learn. But now it makes you nervous, right? You want to be on the best behavior in the house just when they are around.
That's true.
You be yourself when they're not around.
Yep,
When they go to school. But you have to be.
Yeah.
But no, but it's all good. All good. Is knuckle cracking is really bad? How bad is it?
But this question comes from out of nowhere.
Because I had some curious stuff in my mind that I want to ask, because whenever I'm going to get physiotherapy,
So am I
do people
making you calm, or am I making you forget your question?
This is just for not just only for me. I mean, in general,
No, it's not bad.
Shivani gets an irk when I do this, but sometimes
Oh, if your wife told it it's bad, then it's bad.
Okay. So science, wife beats science.
Yes,
Okay.
absolutely.
I'll keep that in mind.
Yes.
I still do believe that
Yes.
too. That whatever she says, yes, that's the final
Yes.
bottom line.
Yes.
Until I very passionately feel about something, like a movie or something, then we argue. But besides that, our arguments are not because
You
of
will
that.
learn that also. It will come naturally.
10, 11 years.
With third baby, I'm sure it will come back.
No. Third baby, if we ever, okay, you'll be the first person I'll ever tell you. If we ever have that, it's never going to happen.
I'm just
It's,
waiting for that phone call
It's
now.
impossible now. So now what I have took upon myself is to spoil everybody else's, child. So Neil, who we spoke about, one of my best friends, he got a baby girl.
Baby.
So I'm like, this is my baby girl now. So that I don't have to have a girl. This is going to be my girl. So I'm going to
Right.
spoil her, treat her as same as what I would treat my daughter.
Yes, and all the
So,
diaper changing responsibility goes to him.
Everything. But that's I've
No,
done it with my
you
two
can
kids.
give it to them. That's fine.
So you just get the final
Yeah,
finished product.
Exactly.
Okay, you go play with them, do whatever you want to do.
Yes.
We'll take care of all the logistics.
Absolutely.
Love it. No, so going back, is knuckle cracking really that bad?
No.
Okay, some people say, don't crack your knuckles. This is really bad.
No, I think that's okay.
It's good. It's okay, all right? Okay. So I'm going to open this book now because this is the last segment. What I normally do with every episode is we're in age of AI. So I ask AI some fun stuff to sort of spit out some questions that are fun to ask, right? So I'll try to pick some in here that AI asked me to ask you.
Okay.
You validate it. It's nothing serious, but it's just fun stuff, right? So crackling knuckle was one of them, which I had thought on there, right?
What did your AI said?
No, they didn't give. I just asked. Gives me a question.
Okay.
I didn't ask.
Okay.
I didn't ask for
You
the
didn't
answer.
ask for the answer.
If I ask for an answer to an AI,
it's not fun anymore.
it's not fun anymore. I mean, where is the human touch, right? In that, so
True.
yeah. So, how many times does someone tell you in a week that is this supposed to hurt?
It's someone.
Do all the patients tell you that?
Okay.
Is this
I want to.
so? Is this supposed to hurt when they come to you for, or let's say your husband or anyone? Understood more about the benefits of physiotherapy? This is a serious question. I'm sorry
No,
for that.
this is not a serious question. This is a very interesting question.
Oh, it is.
And the thing is, out of all the science we have, I'm answering this as an individual, not as a physical therapist. With all the medical branch that we have, or paramedical branch, I think physical therapy is the one which is most connected to our, I would say, our culture and a lifestyle. Yoga is what I do the most in my physical therapy. The thing is, people has not understood it. It's the physical therapy for me is a way of life. For me, physical therapy includes everything, whether it's nutrition, whether it is, exercise science, whether it is the physical medicine, which is hot packs or cold packs, or this was our ancient science, which we did not applied to, which we did not use. It was more of a lifestyle that was already described and that was already told to us to follow blindly. But again, we started asking questions. And then when the problem here is not asking questions, but to whom you are asking. You don't know that person's the right person to ask the question, and they tell you something wrong, and then you stop believing in it. I think physical therapy is only science which is so close to a lifestyle. How your lifestyle should be, how your day should look like. The I'm sure you must be knowing that God has created every single living creature with a expiry date,
Right.
whereas the human body is supposed to live healthy for 120 years. This is how uh, it has been structured. But we are not even able to live healthy life half of 120 years, just because we are away from the science of living life. We How many of us do our exercises regularly, do our your our breathing, our pranayams, our eating habits, our lifestyle, how our routine should be. It is so well already described in our culture, in our ancient knowledge. We are finding answers with AI, but we are not asking questions to our dadi nanis. They
Right.
know, they can tell you what are the benefits of eating in winters, what you're supposed to eat in winter. We will be enjoying something which is cooked outside because we don't know what went inside, and we think it's healthy, but we will not eat the winter food made in our home by our dadi nani, because we ask questions to wrong people. We ask questions to AI, we ask
Right.
questions to Google, we never ask questions to a dadi nani. Physical therapy is that. Physical therapy is the only branch. I mean, I'm sure even as you, as a kid growing up in India, you would not have much heard about physical therapy in India.
No. Acupuncture and
Yes. Massage or acupuncture, yes.
yeah.
Even when I did physical therapy, it was not as famous as that. Like, people, that's why I got admission in physical therapy, because
Right.
people didn't opt for it. People were not aware about it.
Right.
Um, Probably that's the reason that is my analysis, that people never needed it in our country
Right.
because they had this lifestyle. But now, since with the modern times, with the new things that we are that we are going away from our routine, is bringing in the need of all these things. I
Right.
mean, the some if you talking about some accidents and after that you need a medical care is a different thing.
Right.
What I'm talking is like
Old
general
age.
aging process,
Yes.
arthritis, body aches, back ache. Every I see, both men and women's in their late 30s, 40s, with back pain, with neck pain, with ergonomic issues because of their work, their lifestyle.
Right.
I think, where does all this comes from? I think it somewhere, two things. We are moving away from the way we are supposed to have our life, and second, our habit, our curiosity, which we are not using in right directions. We ask questions to only our culture, only our lifestyle. Why this food? I don't want homemade food. I don't want to eat this. I don't want to eat ghee. I don't want to eat winter food. It makes me fat. But no, your curiosity is at wrong place and you're asking wrong thing. That's where you need physical therapy.
Right. So what's the top, maybe let's say top two advice that you give from a physiotherapy standpoint to anybody, a young person in the 20s, 30s or 40s, because you shouldn't need to go to a physiotherapist unless, like you explained, the surgeries or something major that would happen,
Accidents,
accidents,
or
right?
yeah, which is not in your hand.
Right. But
It
you
should
do
not.
see people outside of that as well come to
Yes.
you, right? So do you have any
Yes.
preventive measures that,
I already answered that question. Just follow what you're supposed to do. How many of you wake up and do our half an hour of exercise every day? Who does pranayam? Who does surya namaskar? How much of focus we are having on what is going inside our tummy? We are treating our body like a garbage, like
Right.
can. Are we eating food right? Are we eating the right time? Are we eating for the right season? Are we eating at according to our age? Right? That's it. Like eat right, exercise right, and just don't take too much stress.
Right.
Like this is what it is. Don't be content. Be ambitious, but be content at same time. I think there's three things.
Right.
This is what you need to anchor onto. This is you need to follow onto. Then go ahead, explore, come back to it.
Right. Okay. That's quite simple, right? That's what just stick to the basics, and then
Exactly.
I think we complicate life a lot.
Very much.
And-
Very much.
And also, it's to blame. It's the highway of information that gets shared,
Social
which
media.
is
Again,
without
that thin line that we don't know when to stop,
yes.
when not to cross. Yes.
and that's without knowing like where the source is coming from. If you accept it, then you are going to cause more complications in your own life.
Yes. So I was just few days ago I was seeing this a small reel on social media again that we all are so fascinated and excited about energy bars, protein bars. We go on hiking and we will always have a Cliff bar with us or some bar from any good company, protein bar. We'll look at the protein. Will this? Have you ever thought that our age-old recipe of sesame seed chicky or peanut chicky is actually our energy bar, which we
Right.
stopped using, and then we are eating something which is made in factory. We are opening our
Yeah.
wrappers out. We are not using our home,
And Chiki has
things.
jaggery. Doesn't even have that
Yes.
much sugar, so you
No
can.
much sugar and anything above everything. When you are done with everything, what comes is a thought, emotion, and that's we have always learned, like why the same food that a mom makes and the same food that anybody else who's like even your relative makes, why it's not as good as what your mom makes, because it's the emotion that counts.
Right.
It's the love, it's the effort that she has put in with while making it, that I all her love, that okay, my son will eat, my daughter will eat, and
Right.
they'll get all the nourishment. That when are we gonna get that from opening the wrappers or taking
Exactly.
a bar from
Right.
box?
Exactly.
So I think above everything, this counts the most.
That's and then thanks for sharing that, because when someone, like I said, right, again, when someone is qualified and someone shares that information that actually works, because then now you take that information by this podcast and then you use it in your life, and then you see how
Yes.
it's going to change you. And
It's
again,
true.
most of them, what I'm hearing from a lot of people is just keep it simple. Like there is absolutely no need to
Make it complicated.
overthink. Our parents have eaten that same food, our grandparents have eaten that same food. You kind of stick to it, eat homemade
Yes.
food as much as you can.
Yes.
And see, like, allow and give it time. People are also so much like rushing, and they don't have
Yes.
patience to
Yes.
give their body.
Mhm.
So when I
No,
gain.
the thing is, again, curiosity, modifying.
Right.
Okay, I don't want to eat carbs. I want to eat protein. So what they did in our khichdi, they put rice less and dal more. What's gonna happen? It's okay. It's gonna make khichdi in your tummy now, right?
Right. Right.
It was that time tasted combinations, time tested ratios that really mattered, and this wrong information, like rice puts on weight, or this, like the wrong information from social media that we are
Right.
talking about. I think that's confusing the young generation too much, and that's where the complication starts. That's where the acidity, that's where the constipations, and that's where the constipation of the mind starts, right? And
Right.
that's I really love that new word, hangry.
Angry.
When
Because you're not
yes, you're
eating.
not eating right, you're not
Right.
living right, you're gonna be angry all the time, you're gonna be
Right.
stressed out all the time. So
Right. No, and how do you look at fasting? Like, do you, so like how you said, like we have fasting in our culture.
it's
Um,
all scientific for me.
it is
It
okay.
is. It is. I think um, the world has been recognizing this, that our culture and our lifestyle is directly related to the laws of science. Uh, Lot of researches which are now been done are proving that okay, this what we were doing since generation is the best way of doing it. Um, what was the actual
How
question?
often like should you fast?
Yes, the fasting. Again, the fasting is also the way of developing the immunity. I know it's the whole scientific theory that goes behind it, that your body needs rest, your digestive system needs rest, your cells which are constantly working needs a rest. And if it is just not if it's overworking, it's not resting, that's when the disease comes in. I've read somewhere that one of the major treatment in cancer is fasting. I mean, so that's connects me that this is how our culture was. If you, I wouldn't say this generation is gonna do that, but if you have no idea what to do, just blindly follow our culture. It has every other, like once a week or every 11th day, which is we call
Garrus.
Agyaras, is a fasting.
Right.
Every Punam or Agyaras, they have a different kind of food. What was that? That was incorporating a different nutrition that you want.
Right.
Every season, even my 7 years old connects rain with bhajia. And my house has no restrictions on eating
Yeah.
oil or ghee.
Right.
But what is required? Not more than that.
Right.
Yeah, I mean,
Portion control
portion
and
control, or what is like, that is again, everything is scientific. If you sit down on a dining table, talk to each other and eat, then you will be in portion control.
right.
But if you'll put a device in front of you and TV in front of you, it is not going to be a portion
Right.
control. So as I was mentioning, just if you don't want to use your brains, just blindly follow the way our lifestyle was, and
Right.
you will fall into a right place.
Right.
But yeah, if you want to question the right place, question the right people who can give you the right information.
Correct.
Everything on Google or everything on AI might not, it may look right, but it might not be right.
Right. While on this topic, this last thing, like what's according to you the right way to fast? Because normally what happens is like when you fast, in a lot of, I would be guilty at some point, is like you eat farsan and you eat like
Farad
katli
and
and
everything.
fried food and all that. Like what is the what is the right way to fast? Like stay hungry or not, don't eat anything for a certain period of
certain period
hours.
of time. Yes, that's the correct definition of fast. But if you really know our culture, which you just mentioned, Agyaras, all the whatever 12 Agyaras of the years, it is specified on what Agyaras what you're supposed to eat. We are just not doing it in a right way. There is one Agyaras called Nirjala Agyaras, where you're not even supposed to drink water.
Right.
Are we doing that? No.
No.
There is one Agyaras, you're just supposed to drink water and do it. There's one Agyaras just by fruits. One Agyaras when you're allowed to eat all the different kind of millets, which you do not eat on a regular basis. Or whether I would say, because it was designed in a way that your body actually do not need it on a regular basis, but you need it at certain point of time. So our culture has already decided that, have already devised that in a time-tested manner, and the science is proving that now. Like
Right.
people are going towards millet, people are going towards gluten-free. When it was all there in our
Always
culture,
there,
it was
yes.
always there. It's just that we did not do it in a right way.
Right. Right. Got it. Got it. And one last question. This was more interesting. Again, in the age of technology, how is robotics going to influence physiotherapy?
Oh, at a great level. Absolutely. Now, whatever answers I did so far, I answered it in a way that I was keeping in a mind a normal aging process. But when you really need a medical help, like which is beyond your control, whether it's a stroke or whether it's some kind of surgery, or there's an amputation or something, robotics has already brought so much in those I would say handicapped people's life, that they like the people who have the knee amputated can dance now. So that's a robotics.
Right.
And what quality of life, better you can expect without without the help of robotics. Robotics have really brought a lot of, I would say, required advancement and technology to help improve the quality of disabled people.
Right. Got it. But on that note, I think I'm going to have to end it here. But I'm really, really grateful and happy that you were able to make it. I know we had to reschedule it a couple of times, but I'm so happy that finally you are here.
When it's meant to happen, that's
It's
when
going to
things
happen.
happens.
And I think the knowledge you shared. I think just your calm demeanor, everything. I think I learned a lot out of it, and I'm pretty sure audience is going to gain some good insights into it. And again, thank you so much for doing this.
Thank you so much for
And
making a part of this journey. One day I'm gonna say, "Oh, his first podcast, I was a part of
yes,
it."
definitely, it's going to be.
Yes.
I tell people, like, after Salman Khan, I'm going to launch so many people on on YouTube,
On
at least
YouTube.
at least on YouTube. There are other platforms as well, so it's going to be debut for a lot of people with me,
Yes.
including myself, because I am also doing the same thing. So
Absolutely.
again, thank you so much.
Thank you so
To the
much.
audience, please like, share, and subscribe. And this is Clean Slate Showrunners. We'll see you guys in the next episode. Thank you.